sure could. They say time heals everything, but I'm still
one more time for Natalie Mays and the Dixie Chicks! All right, everybody, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce some clergy folks that have come to us. The Rabbi Rick Brody, Rabbi Raquel Cobrin, and the Reverend Jim Rigby.
I am blessed to stand here today with courageous and resolute Texas women. I stand here as a rabbi, as a husband, and a father, as the son of Democrat and Republican parents who are both ardently pro-choice. Parents who adopted 2 newborn children before a surprise pregnancy with me. Yes, my parents, my siblings, and I all know intimately that what's unplanned can become a blessing, but only when choices are made freely. Without the curse of coercion, there is no blessing in treating a woman's body contrary to her wishes. And even the best laid plans can intrude on blessing when a woman's health is at risk or when a fetus holds no promise of a healthy life. My tradition shares both a deep reverence for the blessings of potential life and also this adamant conviction. The blessing of a pregnant woman's life takes precedence over the potential life of her fetus at all times. And up until the moment of birth, the fetus is part of her body. But with clinics beyond her access, or if her doctors are not granted privileges at hospitals asserting their religious views, or if certain fetal complications are not yet detected, or when women find themselves cursed with despair in back alleys, then the state has endangered women's health and the state has cursed their dignity. Imposing one moral conclusion on such a profoundly complex set of choices, the state tramples my religious teachings and violates the most basic religious freedoms that are the hallmark of this great nation. In my tradition, a pregnant woman is the best judge of her own body's needs, even over the judgment of her doctor. And many extend the welfare of the mother to include emotional health, in direct contrast to this current repressive legislation. The curse of lifelong torment to a woman's mind is no less a part of her body and no less real. Yet those with one narrow religious view in Texas seek to tell all women and their healthcare providers and their religious leaders that they can make better choices for Texas women. For the sake of Texas religious liberty, for the sake of the dignity of choice of all women, and for the sake of women's safety and health, I stand today with Texas women and say enough to the invasive curse of meddling lawmakers who seek to deprive women of their right. And I say yes to the blessings that come with the safe, free exercise of conscience.
tremendous opportunity for future generations. Today, we are all those daughters. We stand here today together, raising our voices against a bill that denies women basic rights, jeopardizes access to safe health care, and opposes those who need help the most. The Torah compels us. The Torah implores us. You will not stand idly by the suffering and the pain of your neighbor. For each and every one of us at some point in our lives will experience pain. Each and every one of us will understand what it means to be lonely, what it means to be invisible, what it means to be overlooked. And so today, we are all here, people from different faiths, people from different cultural backgrounds, united in a universal call: we will not stand idly by. This bill threatens close to 37 of the 42 health clinics in Texas. It threatens 37 of the 42 healthcare clinics in Texas. Clinics that provide basic health care to women who are in need. We are here today to say no. Now say it with me. We will not stand idly by. This bill unethically targets those who are most fragile, those who are poor, those who don't have support, those who have limited capabilities to travel. We are here to say, and say it together, no, we will not stand idly by. This bill threatens to take away a woman's basic right to make her own decisions about her own health care and her own fertility, leaving countless women with little recourse but the tragic coat hanger abortions of yesteryear. We are here today to say no, we will not stand idly by. Some politicians and clergy might support laws that shame, that judge, and that even coerce women for making their own medical decisions. They do not speak for me, they do not speak for the Bible, and they do not speak for God. People should not be allowed to impose their beliefs on people who walk with their own integrity. Together, we are here to say, no, we will not stand idly by. We stand here today with open hearts, committed to speaking honestly, listening compassionately, struggling deeply, and acting with moral courage. We stand here today and we affirm together, we will not stand idly by. Thank you.
I just had the same feeling I used to have when I used to follow Ann Richards on a... My name is Jim Rigby. I'm a Presbyterian minister here in Austin, and I'm pro-choice. I'm supposed to do a kind of a blessing, and I'll try to stay as much in harness as I can, but like you, I'm very, very angry, and I'm tired of this. Are there any people of faith that are tired of the fundamentalists beating up your friends in your name? Are you willing to get louder than them? Because a lot of people in that pink building over there think they speak for Jesus and speak for God. How many of you believe that a woman has not only a right, but a responsibility to take charge of her reproductive life? Bless you for that. Bless you for that. How many of you who are Christian here know that Jesus never said one single word about abortion? So it's a little dishonest to say it's a Christian issue. Bless you for your honesty. But even if Jesus did, how many of you know that we don't want to live in a theocracy? I believe that fundamentalists have a right to religion. I really believe that. But I also believe you and I have a right not to have that religion crammed down our throat. We're seeing Right to Life parades today, but where were the Right to Life parades when these Republicans cut social programs that made it impossible for the women of Texas to raise their children? There are women in this group, this unruly mob, is that what we call it, who have taken better care of children and of poor women than the people parading around us have any idea. There are women who get pregnant as a result of rape. How many of you know that? How many of you know that the rape kit doesn't clean the woman out? How many of you know that when abortion is made illegal in the nation, that becomes the #1 killer of women? Thank you for your human rights work. How many of you have noticed that all of these religions that say women shouldn't be in charge of their own lives also believe that women should be submissive to their husbands and not be rulers in the church? How many of you noticed that little... Bless you for your respect for Texas women. And finally, bless you for those of you that were here Tuesday night. Something sacred happened in this building. And it wasn't an unruly mob. It was righteous indignation. And it was the worst nightmare of the Bubbas in that building. It was democracy in action, and I bless you for that.
Boy, it's these kinds of words that restore my faith in religion. Thank you so much, rabbis and reverend. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right, we've got some really exciting people that have come back to Texas, and they've gone and made good, and they came back when we needed them. First up is, I want to introduce Lisa Edelstein. From her introduction to television as Lisa E. on MTV's Awake on the Wild Side to her role as Dr. Lisa Cuddy on the hit Fox medical drama House, Lisa Edelstein's diversity of roles run as deep as her innate talent. As Dean of Medicine and Hospital Administrator, Edelstein created some volatile chemistry, as you know, between she and the show's title character, the obstinate Dr. House. And the role garnered her the People's Choice Award for Favorite TV Actress. She has since been seen in memorable arcs on The Good Wife, House of Lies, and the hit show Scandal. But her dedication to the practice of good... I just have to say one more thing. Okay, her dedication to the practice of good medicine did not stop with these TV roles. She is a dedicated supporter of Planned Parenthood and women's health, and we are thrilled to have her.
I didn't want to be introduced anymore. My name's Lisa Edelstein, and I used to be a doctor on TV. I didn't go to medical school. I've never actually made a diagnosis. I don't see real patients. I have no medical training whatsoever. So, I'm about as qualified to make decisions about your health as Rick Perry and the Texas legislature. We don't need any gyneticians or polygologists around here. Somehow they just keep popping up, these politicians that don't trust women and their doctors to know what is best for their own bodies. But here's good news. This is good news for us and not so good news for them. It turns out people are not cool with politicians ending access to safe and legal abortion and getting all up in your birth control choices, or telling schools what it means to be a great sex education program. You guys that made sure that that message was heard loud and clear last week. It was amazing. So Rick Perry, I am looking at you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Together, we are all telling politicians thank you. We're all telling politicians that we are all better off when they leave private medical matters to the women and their doctors. Thank you. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. So excited.
You know, it's no surprise to this crowd that the leaders of both Planned Parenthood and NARAL are Texans. And indeed, it's an honor to have them with us today. We have Elise Hogue, who is the new president of NARAL Pro-Choice America. She is a social change practitioner and an expert in online engagement with her passion for progressive work. Before she joined NARAL earlier this year, Elise served as the Director of Political Advocacy and Communications for MoveOn.org. Yes, and you know, she was responsible for shaping political strategy and developing communications initiatives to give the organization's 5 million members a voice in Washington. We are glad to welcome you, Elise. Welcome back to Texas, and thank you for your work. Elise.
Most beautiful, unruly mob I have ever seen. 24 hours ago, I was on my honeymoon in Turkey. But even over there, I heard that something special was going down.